Okay. Okay, there we go. So we're going to go down to number Zayin, and we're going to try to see if I really misunderstood some of this. Bo'or Yakar, over and over, Yakar, be Lifi Darko. He says like this. Now, we're working on the phrase, Behe Ishtaklo. Ishtaklo. He says that they are all incorporated in this letter Hey. So let's see what he means. But Bir Lifi Darko, he says, and now, there, the Arich, the Ari kan besod yichud erik anpin v'zer anpin the milas yehi. Okay, so again, what exactly is this meaning? It says that the actual light of zer anpin should shine into zer anpin. So this says al yedei os hey the bina. So the actual yichud goes through that process. So he said, so now adding on to explain this. Let's take the os hey. Kolu hein or yasher mitzad hamashbia, v'hein or chozer the mitzad mekabel. So wait a second. So zer anpin is the mekabel of this light. So therefore, we're saying here that zer anpin is really like what? Reaching up. He's like going upwards from his position towards Erik Anpin. But at the same time that Erik Anpin is pouring down onto him. V'heim beis hey and the chlalim ba'os hey. There's two heys that are really in there, meaning that it's a two-way street. It goes in, it goes from the top to the bottom to the top. The shana b'toch devarov. So this is like this. Here's the second yud. I was really didn't see this yesterday. I don't know why. He says it's zer anpin. It could be a vav. That's what confused me yesterday. But this is his regular love. The horos al mashpia umushpa. Talking about these two things that are going on at the same time, pouring down and reaching up. So or yasher or choser. So you have Yud K, going back to the letters themselves. You have Yud K, which is Chochma into Bina, and then Bina into the last K, which is the manifestation of the name Yud K Vav K, which is zer anpin. V'tiretz, and he answers like this: Ki kain hu nivlos v'nechlalos hey behey. What actually happens is that the two heys go in together. The energy, he's saying, there's an energy inside of this word Yehi, which is contained in the letter Hey, which has the energy that is coming from top to the bottom to the top, going on at the same time. So I would say, I mean, my own thinking is that what he says in other places is that the Hey on the bottom is really the instigation of the whole thing coming down from the top. You have to have the desire down below to reach the upper. Then the upper really is coming at the same time. Maybe they work together in tandem. So what does that mean? In the Hey, everything is incorporated in that. Behei shall yehi, heim dechlalu shtei heyin, hey ilo shall mashpia, vehei tator shall mushpa. I'm gone. Now, if you had something, I'm always thinking about this, is that if you had something that you really needed to pray for, so here is the place where you can visualize in your mind your moving of trying to get the answers to your prayers, and at the same time the answers are coming back at you. Now that you necessarily the blessing is coming back, they'd necessarily recognize it. That's our job, part of our job. Let's look at number Zayin. Let me see how we go here. Okay, number Zayin says Rei Ba'or Yakar. There's some little words in here. So the Yor Yakar is always difficult in what we see of trying to piece the words together. So the Yor Yakar Sham B'Tachida Devar V'Zhecha D'Shon Guvar Parashta B'Sefer Pardes Rimonim. Sod HaOr HaMishafech. This is the secret of the light that turns around. Ve'inyan Anitzos HaChoizer Ve'inyan Atzilus. So apparently that's a topic over there. That's the spark that goes backwards. Ve'inyan Atzilus. So the use of the word spark is, I feel like, well, I should be learning over there to be able to see how we use the word. So therefore the secret of the light that you're talking about, so Yehi means like let there be come forth, and he's talking about inside of it is really a process. You're looking at the Yud going to the Hey and the Hey going to the Yud, and the final Yud going to the Hey also. These two lights combining in this one phrase. And that's what actually produces the let it be. You know that it comes into being. So he says, so Hormoma b'midas yehi, Mora al sod ha'or ha'mispashit marich lazer besod yak. So this is really teaching us about the light that is spreading from a rich into the sod of which lazer, but it goes through the combination of yud and then k. Vahine zer mekabel besod hey. So zer receives this in the secret of the concept of hey. So I'm not sure, it's a little bit mysterious, these words, how you type them together. Besod zechad nizgala b'shem avaya elokem. Now this secret, I think he means he should be meaning, and I'm not quite grasping it, but these two movements, from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. Ki b'shem arba, that is the name of Yud Kei Vav Kei, the complete name. Hamashpia hu shem yak. Actually, the chef is coming from this name Yud Kei. It goes from Chochmah into Bina. Shebetachidus Havaya, that's the beginning of the name Havaya. Now he says like this, he said, it's Havaya Elokim, he says, V'shem Elokim, that's the name of the Makabel. Makabel hu hey. So Elokim a lot of times goes with Bina, let's say. So V'shem Elokim HaMakabel hu K Yud. So that's going to be K with the Yud. Now exactly how does that go? He says the Makabel is really the energy of going from the Yud to the K. In other words, it's going upwards. Shuhu be'emes Shem Elokim. Now you find this K Yud in the middle of the name Elokim. So he wants to say, as we know, that the letter K in Elokim is the operant in terms of making a milui. There's 3 different miluyim that you could make in the name Elokim. So here he says that the milui is K and Yud, which is the bigger of them. This is Gematria 300, I think, when spelled out. Adkan. So he said V'ikr. V'ikr divrei chapardis rimonim be'inyan zechamuva. So that's like a little taste of something. Exactly what the depth of it, I think, is still elusive to me. I'd have to really get into it more, and I probably will. Be'inyan zechamuva v'gam be'etz chaim. He says Ein Sham v'hu v'biksaz devar of the ale. So we saw some of this previously, some of these ideas. Once again, that's an excerpt of where we see that. So we're moving along, and let's go to number Gimel. Number Gimel says, Reb Firisha Talmud. Shabir Khan explaining here, the Gam HaMalchus Nechlalas Ba'os Hey, Shall Milas Yehi. So Malchus is, this is another way of looking at it. So we're trying to say, what does Ishtaklo? What is this Iskalalus that we're talking about? So one up above, we just had the 2 hays is referring to 2 different, the energies of top to bottom and bottom to top. Over here, we're going to talk about the hay actually also represents Malchus. So in the word Yehi. V'zel l'shono, ma she'amrecha b'behe ishtaklo he iloh he tato. Ki hinecha ba'amr le'el, so it says up above previously, ki ba'osius Yehi, when you get to those 3 letters. Romas al kishre v'gidre etzilus, that now what this phrase means I'm not sure. It's really telling you about the tying or the binding and the boundaries of etzilus. Ki yud rishona mora al atika kadisha, that's Eric Anpin, and we're looking at it from the inside. I'm looking at it from the inside out. Eric Anpin is the core of etzilus. The v'hei amora al bina, this is about bina. V'gam ha'chochma abba meremezes b'hei chazo. So also you have in this hay, there's also a reference to abba. I'm not really sure how he says this. That's besod mash amra bezoyer. He says hey. So he said hey is a dalid havos. It becomes a dalid. So if you make the hay into a dalid, so you have a dalid in a line. Omis av ma'averis yud. And it, what? Begava. She actually I think of this Averis she carries within her like an Ever. Bis Averis Yud B'Gavah. She has within her a Yud. So it's that Hey has to come with the Yud. Nimsiki ha Hey Zu Mora al Yisod Abba Ve'ima. Now where this is coming from, I don't know, but this Yud comes from the Yisod of Abba Ve'ima. Yud Achrona Shel Yehi Mora al Zer Anpin is Zer Anpin. So you have two Yud in there. So the one Yud, which I'm assuming, since he didn't spell it out, that he says with a Dalet could be composed of a Dalet, so the Hey could be composed of a Dalet and a Yud. Let's go back to that, see if I can do anything better with this understanding. He said, Bazoar, Hey is a Dalet, Havos, a Misaveres, Yud Begavo. So I think it means like it carries within it a Yud. The Nimsiki ha Hey Zu Mora al Yisod Abba Ve'ima. Why? Because it's like a Yud. Yud Achrona, so that's the Yisod of Abba Ve'ima, who's by being mashpia into Zer Anpin. Yud Achrona Shecha Yehi, the last one, Mora al Zer Anpin himself. The Kasha, so this is a problem. Hechem Merumas of Malchus Be'Yehis. Where do you see Malchus with these? The Chein Omer, so he said, Behei Ishtaklo. It's a part of the first Hey. Which is Malchus. I think for sure that could take some more explanation. Let me get a little drink. I'm running out of, we've got time-wise, we got a couple minutes. Okay, let's see a little bit more. Let's go down to number Dalet. Number Dalet, here we go. The Ima Mekabelas min Abba Chabaylo. That Ima actually receives this from Abba, her husband. Now, so, no. Umashpas the Zer Anpin Benot. So this is also, that's his language, and so this is our subject. We've seen it before. So let's look at this now. And Nimshach of the Zer Anpin canal, and this Ruach, which I'm really thinking, really is the inspiration of a man's breathing. Its breath itself is in its most penimistic estate. Erik Anpin and Nimshach the Zer Anpin canal, Nimshach Gam Kain Derek Imach Ankabelas Ba'aba. So it actually has to go through this stage of Abba Ve'ima in between Zer Anpin and Erich Anpin. Zalashono, this is what he says of it, Behei Shehid Bina, Ishtak Lecha Bezer Anpin. Or Pirush, Masha Nimshach Rucha Dechai Lezer Anpin. We talk about that. Me'erik Anpin, Ishtak Lecha V'nisakem B'chagidecha B'bina. That's what it means. It has to be put together by Bina. She refines it or refracts it. Ki Kain Seder Hishtalshlus Me'erik Anpin La'aba Ba'umka Dekula in the midst of the whole thing. And he says, what is Ba'umka Dekula? B'yisod Abba. So from the Yisod Abba, you see that the real energy is coming from there. The Bina, from Abba, then of course it goes in through Bina, as if these are a series of pipes, so to speak. Ba'umka Debera. Now here's a new phrase, which is the Umka Debera, in the depth of the spring, or the bear. So what is it? A wellspring. A well. Let's call it a well. B'yisod de'ima. So it goes into that place, and he says the Umka Debera is the Yisod of Ima. So it goes through Abba, his Yisod, all the way into the Yisod of Ima. Umebina the Zer Anpin, and that's where it gets into Zer Anpin. V'chayada ishtaklu bei rucha dechai haba lo mebalo mebal hachaytim, which is Erik Anpin, shuhu arich Anpin. Let me read the phrase once more time. Then through this Bina and the combination of this passing from one to the next, Ishtaklo Bay, this Rucha Dechai, which is coming out of the nostrils of Erik Anpin, as if that's possible to say, Habal Lochem Bebal HaChaitim, that comes to him from the Bal HaChaitim, from the owner of that is from the Erik Anpin. Because in the nose, you want to know now, you really want to pray here. You really want to get deep into this. you have to see that inside of Erikanpen is also something else. It's the Malchus of the Reish the Lo Isyada. So, which is Atik. Now, I think that from the Idris, he uses the word Reish the Lo Isyada that refers to Erikanpen. To refer to Atik Yomim. So, not just the upper part of Atik Yomim, which brings us to Shar Atik. So he said, who Malchus the Reish the Lo Isya, that's the Malchus of that unknowable head. Kamosha Amba Be'idra Rabba, it says over there in the Idra Rabba, it says Ad Khan. So here we have all that. We have a couple of notes to pick up on this. Number 9, neither one of them is real long. Let's see, we have no more time. There's going to be more, he says. Let's do number 8. We have like 1 minute. Said we have less than a minute. So he said, "V'chein bir bar gam bahadras melech v'zel l'shona masha amar hey eloah is ate beruach." He says this hey eloah is crowned on this ruach hayotze meneka v'chaytim. Okay, we'll stop right here. We'll try to pick it up next time because it needs a little thought. And we're out of time. All the best. Good Shabbos, Rabbi. Thank you so much.